the Yoruba part. Let's start taking on our own.
Baba, what is it going to take us to cultivate our tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of hectares of land?
What have we done wrong? What have we done wrong? Let's start taking on our own. Forget about, I'm not even concerned about the northerners. Look, let's our own, these crazy people that are actually making a mess of our own country. I'm going to say it now, Yoruba country. Let's start taking on them. Because let us take on these people. If we start taking on them, then we'll start pressing.
She didn't I talk with that, Baba. When I said, if we want Yoruba nation, like right, we must take power away from these anti-Yoruba people. Whether they are traditional rulers or politicians.
You were saying, look, we have to start putting people into power.
Pro-Yorubas, the real Yorubas in power.
Actually know these people that actually are in tune with what we want. Put them into power to go and tell them what we want. We don't want these crazy people from Tinubu cabinet. These people that he has been, I don't know how he's able to control all these people. We don't want those set of people. Another thing I want to say is, you see, this crazy thing that is going on between Igbo and Yoruba. So the winner is just the Hausas. We will keep fighting ourselves. We'll be so stupid that the only person that is winning the war is the Hausa man, is the Fulani. So it's better we shield our sword and start facing what is. We have a common enemy. The common enemy is the North. The political, the elite is the North. These are we have one common enemy, and we have to face this. Telephone to me said the same. They said, look, if you're trying to do away with these Igbos, at the end of the day, you're just wasting your time because we all have one common enemy. If we don't face this one common enemy, we're all going nowhere. So this Yoruba, this bigotry that is going on, most especially is from the Yoruba side. I'm sorry to say.
We have to keep speaking out.
I don't know.
You know the reason why it's lasted, right? See, Baba, you know why it is this much pronounced? Is because the genuine Yorubas, they are like too reserved to speak out. And that's why these charlatans are the loudest. We need to wake the sleeping giant in us. The educated Yorubas, the enlightened Yorubas, the exposed Yorubas, to begin to denounce these criminals. They do not represent us. Tifnumbu and his gang, they do not represent Yoruba. So all of us keeping quiet because we do not want to be called Omoale. We must begin to speak out and speak up. If not, they will give us this tag. Yorubas are bigots. And yeah, it's already sticking, isn't it?
It's already sticking. It's already stick. Because it's so horrible that we just make ourselves so stupid and got ourselves in.
Got so quiet. We are too refined. I don't want to get into the gutter. I don't want to get into the dirty thing. You would have to eventually.
So another thing is, you see, another problem we have is, you see, we Yoruba Muslims, they have to know what they are doing. You see that they want to stick with the northerners. They should know what they want to do. One, stick with your northerners because of the stupid religion we are following. Because now they've brought in the religion in such a way that even the Yoruba Muslims can't think. If you're telling them, because I had an argument with a guy last week, was telling me, the northerners, the way they reason is different from the way Yoruba people reason. Because he's a Muslim, he's a Yoruba Muslim. Now you want to now start equating us with the northerners. That's what are you talking about now?
I know.
We have our culture. What happened to me? I said, look, I'm a Christian. I used to be a Muslim. I became a Christian. Look, I hold my culture dear than even my religion. Let me tell you.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't know why we are so ashamed of who we are. Even though we are choosing a path that we respect so much, right? That shouldn't make us discard who we are in such a way that...
I said, do you know what these white people, do you know what they went through back in the dark ages? These people were sacrificing people. Remove their hearts and sacrifice it to some god. So don't think they're doing anything special. Or maybe we have gone through, our forefathers have actually gone through some crazy things. These people have gone through, they've gone through worse than we was our forefathers. But gradually, we actually will graduate out of those things. And it's going to happen. Thank you for your time.
God bless you, man. Thank you very much. I love people who can rant in such a way that they let it out. Yeah. Sometimes a lot of people want to be so civil. I like civil people too. Oh, Baba, you can mix both. Be civil and let out your rant in such a way, in such a coordinated way that it makes you human and not a robot, a programmed robot. I want to speak like a gentleman. I'm not a gentleman. Come on. typical, a typical Yoruba man is not a gentleman. Yeah, we say he's Omoluabi. Hey, it's not 100% that way too, by the way. Hello.
Hello, my good evening.
Good evening, ma'am. How are you?
I'm good, and you?
Very well.
Honestly, getting you online is like war.
And sometimes when people got in to leave self in a war, you have to say,
Oh
hey,
my goodness.
thank you very much before they finally say, okay, yeah, thank you. But yeah, it's good to have you though.
Yes, I was really pissed this evening. But the other man has treated the issue.
Right.
Please, let's be careful on what we say online. He has said it. The thing got me so pissed off. How can this man mention this at this point?
Just like that.
When everybody is trying to survive out of that place. Oga, please, tune it down.
You know?
God.
Sometimes, you know, we can't be pretending to be saintly than the Pope in this regard. You know, there are some certain things that we just have to keep off it too. I agree. I do.
That's by the way. I agree with what the last caller said about trying to infiltrate everywhere. The Northerners, the Northern politicians, because I won't classify it as the Northerners.
Blanket statement on everyone.
You understand me? It's the Northern politicians because I don't see why they will be enjoying why their people are suffering the most. So I begin to ask myself, Obi Ezekwesili was once Minister for Solid Mineral.
She was.
So I don't know whether that department, that sector is still in place. Because if you watch, after Obi, there has never been anyone I've heard of Sister Obi.
Well,
as a Minister for Solid Mineral.
After her, okay?
After her.
Yeah.
And it has been silent for a very long time. The first one
was the
now.
former governor of Ekiti. Okay. Then the one that is holding the position right now is no other person than Dele Alakori, who chooses instead of being a Minister of Information, he chooses that, and we know why. Because right now the Ministry of Solid Minerals is no longer about Nigeria; it's about the deal of illegal mining. God bless you. Pocketing everything that has to do with it now.
Exactly, and it looks as if they just sealed our mouth. Nobody is talking about it.
Yeah.
They are mining it, embezzling the money from that part of the country. Why they are having that, they are still interested in the one in the West. And nobody seems to be talking about it.
I know.
Everybody just kept quiet and kept mute about it. The money they make out of solid mineral in that country
is more than what they are making from crude oil.
More than you can ever imagine. Now, I just want to throw this slide because he mentioned that was I remember. I just want to. Now, there's something you were saying about Showore. Showore, what his way of handling things is not resonating with the youth because he had an opportunity to correct a lot of things in last election, but he did not. Now the Kalu say that anybody is against Nigeria, that is against Nigerian government is his friend. Once you are against Nigerian government, you are his friend, so long as you are not for them. But Showore had the opportunity to mind his business, pursue his political career, and focus on what he's doing to draw more attention to himself. Rather, he left people that he was supposed to be attacking and was attacking P2B.
I know.
And then, during that period, P2B already have everybody in mind. Everybody already had P2B in mind. And you came out, instead of you to just respect yourself, focus on what you came for. You left the thieves, the criminals, and you're attacking the 1% that is even better than the criminals. So it doesn't make sense to people.
That really did settle down well with a lot of people.
You understand me? That was an opportunity that I felt he missed.
I know.
You understand my point? So instead of you to calm down and fight together, even if you're not coming in as a party, you mind your business, he minds his business, you fight your own, he fights his own, and you at the end of the day, you achieve whatever you want to achieve. But rather, he was mentioning the P2B every day. P2B every day. How can you fight somebody that the youth is already behind?
You get somebody that has already commanded a sizable number of young people.
They are not saying that you might be a stooge.
Mm-hmm.
They might see you as a stooge because I'm not, I can't hear you. That's the problem with me. I can't hear you.
I'll let you finish, but continue. You are making a very valid point, ma'am. Continue.
They might see you as a stooge because you have witnessed a lot of people that were stooge before this time. We witnessed Kayamu, he was a stooge. There was a time Kayamu was like that, fighting for the innocent. There was a time Adam Somoshomole was like that. Who has fought more than Adam Somoshomole in Nigeria? There was a time he was like that. A lot of them that was like that, but they entered and changed. This same Tinubu himself that is a boy that was, he was still in 19, I remember him in 1993, during Abiola time. Are you getting my point?
I am with
you.
We've
seen a lot of stooge. We've seen, even this last election, we saw a lot of them in Labour Party. We saw how they switched over immediately. So, and the person in question has been working with Showore when he was against Jonathan. Now, instead of you to use this time to stand your ground, criticize Tinubu, criticize others, you were fighting against another person that was still fighting the same cause you're fighting. So that was where you missed it. So it's easily for people not to, relate with what you're saying. Because this guy has proofs everywhere. But I understand what he was trying to do. He was trying to tell people that this guy is still one of them. He's still one of them. But there's the way you'll be fighting someone that is innocent, you get yourself roped in inside. So that was what happened to Showore. And that's of there's something that keep on happening here that I want to talk about. I just want to talk about it.
Go ahead,
we keep on saying we are not in the country. We keep on saying they should get up and fight. They should go out there. When we were there, how many times did we get up and fight? Let's be honest with ourselves.
Well, maybe because it wasn't this really bad.
Nigeria of 20 years ago is not Nigeria of today.
Right.
We had a government that was still scared of United Nations then. We had a government that was scared of United Nations then. Today, the government will have today, they are not even scared of United Nations. Anyhow, if you come out, they shoot you anyhow. If you watch your neighbor lose her child yesterday and nothing was done, the child went just like that. It is difficult. It takes a lot of courage. Let's be realistic. If I am in America, if we feel we are so courageous, why don't we go back and start too? It's not easy. So when we are trying to be hard on them, we should consider some certain things too. Because honestly, if I have a son in Nigeria, it would be difficult for me to say, look, don't go out there. I don't know who will come out. Let's just put ourselves in their shoes. It's just that most time we don't learn until we come out of this country to understand the in-depth of what this government has done to us. Because we are not here in these countries and we are seeing what is happening in this country, how they get it as easy as anything. That's why we are now worried. They too will not understand most of them until they move out of that circle called Nigeria. Okay, the middle class that's understood these things are part of those people that are being corrupt. The ordinary man in Nigeria does not understand what we are talking about. The youths of today, they are not ready to fight. Most of them because most of them they don't live on the government. Most of them that are working remote jobs. They've bought their properties. So they don't even want to hear that somebody will come and destroy the property that they didn't get from the government. A lot of them are paid in dollars. Those youths that we're talking, they are skit makers.
I know.
They are YouTubers. Are you getting my point?
I am with you.
So when you are saying all this, they are not getting it.
There are some factors we should always consider. I agree. I do.
You understand me? But the one that is selling fish in the market does not understand what you're talking about. Does not understand that if you come to a developed country, you can get a laptop for free. Does not understand that your children can go to school for free. Healthcare and everything. He or he doesn't understand that. And he or she is not ready to go out in the street. So it takes a lot of courage and the grace of God for something to be triggered.
To that point.
To trigger to move into the
Thank you so much. I know you could
can
barely hear me though, right? But you've made so much valid points. And I agree with you 100%. Thank you very much, and you have a good evening, ma'am, okay? Thank you so much. Here is another caller, but I'm going to ask you to wait for me for a second. And I hope you can hear me, by the way, my caller, indeed. So, hang on, what's this? I do not know why. I want to be sure that what do you call it? My voice is out there. So if you can hear me, let me know. So I have a caller. Hello there.
Yeah, one more. I can hear you loud and clear.
Osita.
I can hear you loud and clear from the temple of peace.
How are you, Baba?
Yeah, we thank God. We bless God.
Bless you too, man. Thank you so much, please.
I will always bless God for my life and your life.
Amen.
Thank you. Nothing, no weapon fashioned against you will ever prosper.
Amen. And you too. Amen.
They will try and try and try, and they will fail and fail and fail.
As many times as possible. Amen. Thank you so much.
You have been the mouthpiece of God, either anybody likes it or not. You've always been the mouth.
As they say, the voice of man, the voice of God is the voice of man. The voice of man is the voice of God, as it should be. God bless you, Osita. Thank you very much.
Yes. You know, so sometimes it gets so funny that people will come here. I don't want to hammer much on this, and people will just spread out their, I won't say dirty linen, but you just spread out your clothes in the sun for everybody to see if it is tattered or not.
Yeah, I agree.
So, there are some things that are unnecessary. There are some things. That's the reason most of the times when we come here, we come here to learn.
That's right.
Because if we don't learn, we can never be correct. So we should really try.
There is nobody that is above learning. I learn every day myself, and I say, I will never present myself as somebody who knows it all, because I've got a lot to learn too. That's why I share what I know, and I listen to others to share theirs.
Because as it is all over the world, but especially in Nigeria, people need survival. So if you see that that route of survival, please don't make mess of it and start coming to talk about things that you did or what other people did to attain that success. Please let us be very, very careful of what we say in the public space. Thank you very much. You know, so as regards to what is happening, like one of the callers said, that if there's anybody who is winning the war, that the Northerners are winning the war. It's not just that the Northerners are winning the war. There are some Igbo, as an Igbo man I am, there are some Igbos who are in bed with these people.
As well.
As well. So we will not just limit it to the Northerners. So the way they call themselves elite, because they didn't earn it, they forced themselves to be called themselves elite. These ones, they are in bed with each other. They are the one that is enjoying everything that is happening. Like when you come to my state in Imo State, the whole issue of unknown gunmen and gun no man, all those things, it is working against the ordinary man, but the government, those that are in power there, are the one eating the whole money. They would decide not to do anything.
That way. Exactly.
Yeah. They might want not to do nothing, and they won't do anything, and they will tell you that we use this money in buying guns for the security people who are securing the state.
To justify hundreds of millions of naira they deducted for every month, right?
Every month.
How do you want them to justify it?
Yeah, so for security votes. So at the end of the day, it is not just that the Northerners are, because when you look at it and say the Northerners are enjoying, then when you go to the North, they are the ones that are suffering the more, either we like it or not, because the basic things of life is being denied to the people because they don't have education at all. Either indirectly or directly, they lack education.
I mean, put it this way, Sita, they have the highest number of out of school children. They have the highest number of the internally displaced persons. And the number goes on and on and on.
So it's not as if they are enjoying it, but the truth is that it's the political class The so-called elite, they are the ones that are enjoying what is happening in Nigeria today. So let us be frank and candid with what we are seeing. I keep saying it. There was a time in my life too. At a point in time in my life, if I hear the name Nigeria, I get excited that, oh, people respect us wherever we go. They will say, oh, Nigeria. But the reality, anybody that respects us for being called Nigerian, that person doesn't know what is going on with us, or if that person is making mockery of us. So, as it is right now, it is not a war for Showore. It is not a war for P2B. It is not a war for Dele Farotimi, whoever. It's not a war for Nnamdi Kanu. But this thing is a war for us. All of us will have a role to play. It is not because of we live abroad. If I used to tell people that if you don't really care and you said, oh, the people back home should take care of it, you won't be on this platform. Trust me, my brother.
No.
You see, your platform will not move forward because the reason we are here is because of a particular condition that we are facing. It's because of the rot that Nigeria is facing. Because as it is, if I tell you how many of my friends I have lost, because sometimes they will call me, I won't pick my call because I know it's all about give me. Can I give everybody?
No,
I won't be able to give everybody. It's not possible. So that is something we need to understand, that all of us, all hands must be on deck. All of us will have to sit down and play our individual roles to become collective efforts in order to make sure that something is done.
That reminds me of what I actually wanted to add earlier to make people understand that you see the difference between this platform and so many others you see online on social media.